Made with love by Clover.
Now, I think we've done enough talking. Jay, welcome to the kitchen. It feels good to have you here, but we can't be riding solo, right?
No, go. We're always in threes.
We're always in threes. So, Chef Dion, I think it's best you come into the kitchen here because we've done enough talking. Now we need you to start cooking. Are you ready, my guy?
I'm more than ready. It's been a while since I've been here, so yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while, and we are celebrating Egg Week with this velvety, lactose-free custard that is made with Clover Nolac. It is not only a good substitute for those who are lactose intolerant, but it is a healthy option for all. Now, Chef Dion, Chef Jay, we're talking eggs today, and we're basically giving people an option on how to use the eggs, and we're using it in a custard now, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, eggs are amazing to me. We use them all the... let me say they're excellent. Excellent. Should we start the puns now?
Let's do it. Let's go with it.
They are amazing, different, versatile applications. We're using it now today in a custard setting agent. But, you know, we've got a brilliant chef from across the pond who came back to join us. And Chef Dion, if you can just motor in and show us how to get it
Okay, so
done.
we're making a pretty simple custard. I mean, your main ingredient is always going to be your egg yolks in here. You got your sweetener, which is your caster sugar, and then your stabilizers, your corn flour. Now, very importantly, with your corn flour, the amount that you add to it would depend on the consistency of your custard that you're looking for at the end. You want more of a pouring custard that you could use with the Malva pudding, for example, or with the beautiful apple pie, then you'll add a little bit less cornstarch to it. You can also substitute it for something like xanthan gum or soya lecithin as well. It's also a thickening, stabilizing agent that will aid in it if you don't want the sort of corn flour inside of it.
Okay.
A little bit of salt. I mean, salt in desserts just add that extra burst of flavor and brings out flavors like the vanilla as well to come out more predominantly. So you basically just want to do this hot and cold method where you got your no lactose milk here on the one side, which we're bringing up to heat, and then we got our cold ingredients on this side, which we'll bring together.
Okay.
The important thing about bringing these ingredients together before you add your milk is that we can get that corn flour sort of smoothened or worked into the egg yolk, so else you're going to have these bits of lumps in there.
And I'm loving this trick because a lot of times, Chef Jay, you know, whenever we're working with corn flour, we always talk about making a slurry beforehand. But I guess in this instance, you're actually using the eggs and the vanilla as the liquid,
that slurry, yeah.
As that slurry part. Okay, and we've chosen to go with our Clover Nolac today, and that's the milk we're using. So if you're suffering with, you know, with all those lactose symptoms, we're talking about that cramping, the bloating, nausea, any of those, you don't even have to worry about it because we're using Clover Nolac, which had the lactose basically removed from it and allowing us to be just as versatile whenever we use it, just like we're doing today, where you can use it in your baking, you can use it for your custards. It basically is versatile enough to use in any way. And as you're showing us there, Chef Jay, you're showing a bit of a more thickened way that we could use this custard, right?
Yeah, so I've got two different ways, Tooms, but I think Chef Dion's motoring ahead of us there. Let's just tune into what's happening in that bowl. Okay. There's a lot happening.
Like you were saying, the thicker one you can use for fruit tarts, or you can even put them into profiterole rolls or into eclairs. They work perfectly, or in stuffing them in croissants.
But what have you done here?
So here, I've just taken the hot milk and tempering the egg yolks. So when we add it to that, it doesn't overcook as well, and it gives it a bit more of a leeway to sort of slowly thicken up as we go together.
For everyone that doesn't understand what Chef means by tempering, in essence, he's basically meaning we're bringing it up to temperature to allow it to mix it with everything else in there. So you basically warmed up the egg mixture by
with
adding
half of it, with
and half of that milk so that it doesn't scramble and curdle.
And then on a very low heat, continuously stir it until it slowly thickens up.
And this is quite a process. This is quite a labor-intensive process. So if at all you want to make a dessert like this, it is best to make sure you've got time so that you basically give it time to thicken up as best as you want.
You've got to give it love and attention.
Always. You've got to bake with love. And so I've got the two different consistencies here. We've got one that's a bit thicker that I've put into my tart shells. A little bit of cinnamon, and you've got a almost milk tart.
Yes, you know? You're right.
And then I've got a...
I don't know if my Oma will agree with that, but yeah, let's go with it.
And then I've got a runnier consistency here that I'm just going to drizzle over some fresh fruit. Now, in this one, to me, we actually half the quantity of the corn flour. Okay, so in doing that, you've got a thinner custard that you can pour over desserts.
Can I actually give this a taste? And you can actually see the consistency is also different and lighter.
This one's a bit lighter, so you can see it's automatically different. But I'm going to show a quick trick to me. Now, while you're giving it a taste over there, my friend.
Friend, you were talking about velvety. I can definitely taste the velvet in my tongue here.
So I've got a piece of cling wrap here. If you have leftover, custard that you want to store in the fridge, it's important to cover the cling film and put it on top so that the skin doesn't form. So this is a great way to store the remaining custard in the refrigerator. I believe they call it a cartouche.
Yeah,
Also, like, you get this little Ziploc bag vibe thing is even perfect for it. You just get all the air out of it, and they're easy to store as well in your fridge.
That's excellent. Fantastic.
But if you look into this, you can see it's already starting to thicken.
Very quickly,
Once it's thickened, you remove it. And do exactly what Jay's just done.
And you can see how quick it thickens. So if you just leave it for a second, you're going to have lumps in it.
All right, then, guys, if you want to get this recipe, just head over to Afternoon Express to get your hands on this delicious recipe.